So a couple of the things that I was thinking about while I was away, the big one was, and I guess like the one that's always on my mind the most, I should say, is how I can better serve everyone in the community and the community as a whole. And the one thing that I see that is kind of, I don't know if it's becoming an issue, but it's definitely, I feel like, bringing more to the table in terms of like things are getting unorganized, things can become very overwhelming, and it's these sessions, the 3 sessions. We've tried different things. I used to do things completely different before. Like if you were in my previous Discord, there were certain things that I would do that were more based on you, like workshop type things, not me just getting on here every day and trying to think of a new topic or how to dive deeper into an already existing topic. And I feel a lot of this can just be adding more to what we already have. And if you guys agree or if you guys disagree, like this is anything that we're talking about, like I want to hear from you about this. So my thought process was, and also because we're working on quite a few things too. So in terms of like content, like as of right now, I think I have like 100 hours of recordings that I have to do over the next 3 months. But that wasn't the big factor here. Like I've been doing 3 to 5 sessions consistently for almost 3 years now. So that's not really like anything different. But one thing I am seeing is just a lot of, so like there's just new topics and then new topics or adding on to a topic, an already existing topic. And there's not so much, like, it's not like there's, like, I kind of feel like I'm regurgitating the same stuff over and over that's already in the community. So some of the ways that I used to do things previously, like there were a couple different things. One would be a session where I'm just marking up charts and kind of doing what I do. And I did it in 2 different formats. One was just no talking. It was just like as if I jumped on my computer one day, like at night before I go to bed, and I'm just marking up charts and I got my music going, just like as if I was by myself, doing my thing. And then people could just hop on and watch me label everything and mark up things and just kind of go through my process. I did that 2 different formats. One was just like I described, just music and no discussion. Like that, I wasn't talking. It was literally just me zoned out, marking things up and doing my thing. And then another version of that, I would do the same thing, but I would kind of walk through and verbalize what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, etc. So like instead of like me kind of like regurgitating the same stuff over and over and kind of like always be like, I found myself in this loop of like always trying to figure out what that next training is going to be about, instead of like, man, like we already have like everything somebody needs. Like, how can I do this differently to like better serve everyone? So like the thing that came to my mind is either doing that and actually seeing it being applied. And then another one was kind of like a workshop, right? So maybe like there was a couple different ways that I used to do it in an old Discord, and another one would be like, kind of like there were different versions of the workshops. There were like, one of them, for example, would be where, we all get on a Zoom and we're discussing, like somebody's sending kind of like more like a back testing but on your end. So like I used to do a lot of back testing with private mentorship. There was a lot of things that I used to do privately on one-on-one or small intimate groups that I can't do on a big scale like here, where we have like almost 1,000 members. It's physically impossible. But there would be a lot of like back testing. There would be a lot of like looking at that individual's data that they're collecting and back testing it personally. And then there was a lot of looking at somebody's markups, like before and afters, and kind of finding their strengths and weaknesses, if you will, like doing a SWOT analysis on the markups, right? There's different ways that we can do the SWOT analysis on the data collected, on ourselves, and then on what we're marking up, right? So that was another way of doing it. So like I am interested to hear from you, and as collectively as a community, how can we make these sessions so they're better serving you? So it's not like you're just getting on here and listening to me speak to a screen. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, how can I better serve you? Like, how can you get the most from the time we have together live on these sessions, to move the needle for you? And if you have any ideas, or if you liked any of the things that I just discussed that we used to do, I would definitely be interested in hearing your opinions, your thoughts, your concerns, suggestions, ideas, whatever it might be. I would love to hear from all of you and what you think. I learned a lot from you watching and analyzing markup current charts. And I'm gonna write these down too. I brought a pen and paper, because I want to make this decision collectively. I don't want it to just be something that I'm thinking about and kind of make a decision. I want to talk to everybody and get the feedback first before we decide, and we can decide on this call or in like a day or so after, because I know a lot of people do watch the recordings, but we actually have a decent amount of people on here today. One thing I always heard, and I talked to Luke about it, and he said one of the things that he got the most value from, and one of the things that he learned the most, like from me, was when I was just marking up charts. And the format that he got the most from, when I wasn't even really talking, it was just like me just marking things up, which I think I mean, we can play that version multiple different ways, and I think a lot of people would like to see everything applied in real time on current charts, whether it's you picking the pair or whatever it might be. It really doesn't matter, whether it's like a batch of 5 pairs or whatever, and we do it that way. Whatever it might be, we can figure out all those details if that is one of the options. But let me just scroll up on the chat a little bit. So marking up charts, I'll do it 1. Maybe just pointing out the previous videos where you said it before. I think the sessions where you mark up charts and explain as you go, this will drum through the process. So 2 for that. We can do a 20 sample size together. I've never heard of that one, but I like that. Sample size together. You mean like go through and backtest something together? Like what I did with Andy recently? Learning new info on gold. Would like more on Forex. Well, here's the thing with that. Whatever I do on gold, it's the same for Forex pairs and crypto. It's all the same. Like what I do doesn't really change from pair to pair. Like if I just looked at EU every single day, my thought process and my execution and everything would just be exactly the same, literally. There wouldn't be too much that changes there. Music, chill, and markup was cool. Yeah, you were around for that. I like the idea of maybe seeing you actually do your back testing. Workshops. Just give me a sec. I'm just writing some of these down. I also think the back testing idea sounds great. Maybe you could pick a trader. Yeah, I like that idea too. Like we could pick somebody in the group, and you know, somebody would be lucky, and then obviously you would have an idea. It'd be like an example with like real actual data. But I do like that. Maybe we can do something like that where it's like I backtest somebody's data from stage 1, and then I backtest somebody's data from who's in stage 2, et cetera, et cetera. I think that would be beneficial. Backtesting. I do like that. Because that backtesting and the data, like honestly, like that's what moves the needle, really. Like it's the most pain in the ass thing to do in trading, but it's like the one thing that's actually going to get you from point A to whatever point you're trying to go. Learning to analyze a chart seems to be best beneficial to the group. So I figured a lot of people would like that. And we can do a combination of this stuff. Another one for the charts. I would love to see markup charts, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. For me, when you mark up charts and talk about it while you're marking it up, that makes it easy for me to understand. Yeah, and that's probably what I would do. Like the one I did with the music was kind of like a bonus session for everybody. Like I would just do it at the beginning of the week and I was just marking up my pairs. But I'd probably have you guys pick up the pairs because since I trade like 1-2 pairs at the most, I don't have to do too much marking up. Like things are kind of marked up and I just see how things change. If anything really changes, it's more on an intraday basis. So I could have people call out like regular Forex pairs and just do something that I haven't seen or not already prepared for. Yeah, so marking up the charts is definitely one that's got a lot of requests. Agree with Luke. I think it's good to have you have the calls now. An idea is Zoom like this, but able to unmute the person on your. Yeah, I mean, I like that too. And I used to do stuff like that, like meetings, kind of like what we did with the VIP stuff. I like that. Markups with your thought process. Yeah, so there's a lot for that. So I think that would probably be one. Love to see you mentor or give feedback, back test someone else's chart markups and market biofeedback. So it would be someone else's journal, charts, and market bio. Because I think that's the stuff that really will benefit everybody versus like me just saying, like going over stuff repeatedly. And it'll kind of create a more intimate like setting, really. And these would just ultimately be workshops. Everyone different, so got to figure out. And that's a big thing too. Like the data, like so, like one of the things like that I used to talk about when I did private mentorship is finding your identity as a trader. And there's a couple of different flips to that. Like you got the identity. How can I put this? So it's basically, we all use these concepts and we're all going to use these differently. So you can use these from, I know somebody who just who applies this stuff off of monthly, weekly bias and daily entries. And then like, that's just their identity with these concepts. And then if you take somebody like myself, I do a lot of intraday lower time frame during the overlap of New York, London on lower time frames on gold primarily and sometimes US 30. Like that is my identity within these concepts. So the back testing, that's what's going to reveal your identity. So the back testing with the journal, the charts, and the market biofeedback, that's where you find your identity. So I do like that because you are absolutely correct. Everybody is going to, everyone's different. Everyone's going to approach things differently. Everyone's going to have different mindsets. Everyone's going to have different little nuances, if you will. Interactive sessions, you marking up charts, sessions for beginners, sessions for more advanced traders. Seeing the back testing would be cool. Agree with me. That's a great idea. Would be awesome. Homework. Marking up charts with the explanation. Yeah, there's a lot for that. For us, it's hard to see the connection between monthly daily, weekly, the influence of the higher time frames to smaller time frames. Markup charts, back testing. We could have a small group of Forex pairs that we will follow along with on different times and get your view. Yeah. So like one of the things that I used to do, so I used to, when I was learning market structure, and some of you may know this person, I really vibed with this trader, Stevenson Lindor. And I've actually ended up meeting him a few times, and I always just thought like he kept things very simple and very easy to understand, and he had a way of explaining market structure that I just personally vibed with. And what he used to do is he had scheduled sessions, and one of them was a markup session where he would go through certain pairs and mark them up from scratch. Or sometimes it would be like he'd have the markup, and when he starts the next session, I think it was on Sundays he did them, he would have like the previous markup still there, and you can kind of see how it played out, and then he would just update it or do a new markup. But he did the same pairs in order every single time, so like I knew what he was going to mark up. So like at first when I was, and this was like when I was new to Forex, like I new to trading, and at first like there was just no way I wasn't understanding a lot of the stuff. So like I was just watching, and I would have two screens, or I would put them on, like I had like a little tiny tablet thing, and I would like imitate his markups. So I didn't know how to mark things up, appropriately, and then I would just kind of duplicate his process. Then I would just keep doing that till I kind of had an idea of what I was doing, and then knowing the pairs and the order that he did, I would get prepared before those sessions, and I would mark up those same pairs. And then when he marked them up, I would just see how mine sized up to his. Like if I was seeing what he was seeing, if I was doing things, and that's kind of how I gauged like my progress. So that's kind of why I used to do that. Like, so maybe we can pick like 5 pairs that, or whatever it is, maybe 3 to 5 pairs that you guys know I'm going to do. And, whatever stage you're at, what I just described, that could be something that you do, whether it's just duplicating what I'm doing and then going back and studying it and wondering why, or trying to figure out why I did what I did, until you get to the point where, okay, I'm going to do this on my own, and I know which pairs he's going to do in the order, so I'm going to mark them up and then see how mine size up to his. Backtest, free or paid FTMO trial. About option to give homework, markups, backtesting. That's a good idea. I like the sound of that. Sounds good to me. It would be good to see you follow trades through like you just described and talk through the journaling process. I think a lot of that would be revealed too in the backtesting. So how about this? How about we have one session where we do just that? Like we have, and you guys can pick the pairs, and that way you know which ones I'm marking up, and we can do like 3 to 5 pairs, and given on the time, like however many I get through, we'll get through, and we can do like a chart markup section, and I'll also kind of verbalize my thought process. Let me write this down. So we can do like one session for that. I think the 2 winners here were the marking up charts and kind of talking about my thought process with like a set amount of pairs, and letting you, like, it'll be like the same pairs, like 3 to 5 pairs every single week. So we can do the follow-up, and then we can do the update, and you can either duplicate, or you can try to when you get to that point, some of you are, where you can mark those pairs up and kind of size them up. So we can do that. 3 to 5 pairs, charting, and verbalize thought process. Okay. And we'll go over those pairs in a second. And then the next, and then the other session we can do, which was kind of a no-brainer, I think everybody agreed on that, is the back testing. So we can do the back testing on a couple different things. We can do the back testing. I like Mia's idea. We can do members data. So like before these sessions, I can just ask somebody and then have somebody send it to me, and we can do a different person every session or whatever. It really doesn't matter. Like if I choose you, I choose you. It's more so seeing what I'm doing. So we can do the back testing on the actual trade journal. We can do the back testing on like before and after chart markups, which should be in that trade journal. Or let me think about that. And then we have the market biofeedback. And we could split that back testing between two different things. And this way I could get more people involved. So how about this? How about for the back testing one, I'll get somebody to every week send me their trade journal with like the chart markups and the market biofeedback. The best way to do this, honestly, is have a Google Doc. And on Google Doc, you can have little tabs. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That way you guys can start getting prepared if you're not already doing this. And this is how I personally do it. One sec. Let me find sheets. Blank. I just gotta share this again. One sec. You guys see my screen? Where's the chat? This is why, this is, let me see. Okay. So like what I do is I go to Google Docs, and Google Docs is free. Dynamic duo, just a couple of focus pairs, so we're not spread too thin. So I use Google Docs, and you can go, if you have a Gmail, or I mean, Google, all this stuff is free. You can do Google, it's like Excel, and there's like Word, all that stuff. It's built in to Google Docs. So what I do is you can have one, let's say like trade journal, right? Master trade journal, right? And then this can be, you know, the pairs, or whatever it is, like the pairs, entry, stop loss, TP, risk to reward, result, right? Kind of like the one that you guys saw that we previously had. And then before, snapshot, after, snapshot, and you can like take the before and after snapshots and paste them right in these. And you can just resize these if you want, like this, right? So like you can do that. So what I do is like this will be, you can, at this plus button down here, you can do like multiple things. So you can have like this one be, how do I rename this? Rename January, or just Jan, Feb. And you can get pretty, you can do some cool stuff with this where you can like do coding and it'll add up all your percentages and all that stuff. Like if I do 4 and 6, right? I can do total equals, I don't even know how to, I don't remember how to do this. A4 plus A5. I figure out how to do this. I'll figure it out. I haven't done that in quite a bit. I'll pull up another one where I have the coding, but you can do stuff like that and I'll give you the total, add up the percentages, but whatever, that's not really what I'm talking about. So you can have like one Excel or Google Sheets like this where you have like the months at the bottom, and then you can also have your market biofeedback. You can basically have it so it's all here. So like when you want to share it with me for these sessions, you would just share the doc and I would have this, and I would have your trade journal all organized with the before and after snapshots, your market biofeedback, like everything that we need already all in one place. So that would be the best way to get it set up and for sharing it with me. So what we can probably do is for the Wednesday sessions, right, where we're doing, or excuse me, whenever we do these sessions, the back testing session, we can do, somebody sends me their Google Doc and we'll back test. Maybe like we'll take a half hour to back test it and show you how I do it and some of the things that I look at. Kind of like what I did with Andy when he got selected for that one-on-one session, and he sent me his Google Doc and he sent me his journal and the market biofeedback and all that stuff. I just showed him, I see things that I can make suggestions on. I show how I back test certain information I'm looking for, all that stuff, right? So we can spend like a half hour for that. And then the next half hour can be to get more people involved. If you're on the actual session, send me a link, a snapshot to your markup, and we can backtest some of the markups that you have that you want me to look at, and I'll review those on these sessions. Just make sure when you're doing the markups, right, when you send me a markup, make sure it's something kind of like what I described in the group chat the other day, where if you're going to send me something, don't just send me this. Don't just send me, here's a candle, here's my fib, and just that. Like, don't send me that, right? Send me something like this. Let me move this chat out of the way. Send me something where you have your markup, and if you want, you can even split screen it, right? One can be the higher time frame, like your higher time frame markup, and then the other one can be like, where your entries worked in, or whatever it might be, right? So I can see both, and then include what your confirmations were. Like, go to the bulletproof confirmation checklist and or just search the post that I made. Let me pull it up. And then that way, like, I kind of know your thought process. Do you guys know the post that I'm talking about that I dropped in the Discord? I responded to somebody's today. Somewhere right here, right? So like I said, because I get a lot of people that say, hey, we look at this markup and it'll be like very minimal stuff, and like it's kind of like a lot of guesswork. So you can see, like, this person who asked me for feedback on a chart, you can see I give a solid response there, right? Because look at their post, and this is the feedback that I was talking about, right? So confirmations, grade the trade, like the aggression, or is it conservative? Maybe it's counter trend, whatever it might be. The stage, right? Like, what stage are you in? At like stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. The trade management, this would only apply if you're actually in that stage. Like, how you plan on managing this trade, write that on the chart. What's your entry strategy? How do you plan on getting into this trade, right? Like, if A happens, I'm going to do this. If B happens, I'm going to do that, right? And then additional notes. I maybe scroll up to see where I wrote. I'm sure it's right up here. I think I dropped it Thursday, Friday last week. I'm sure somebody took a snapshot of it. I'll have to look for it. Let me just do this. Because I'm sure there's quite a few people. I'll pull it up on this, and then that way you can take a snapshot so you know what I'm talking about here. And if anybody has what I'm talking about, That would be greatly appreciated, so I don't have to search for it. You have it saved? Will you drop it in the group chat right now for me? That would be much appreciated. And then you can take a snapshot, and all you got to do is just include this information with your markup. And then that way I can have a good understanding of what you're seeing, how you plan to get into this trade, what stage you're at, right? Because for that stage or that example previously, right, somebody was doing stuff that didn't apply to them in their current stage. So it's kind of taking away from their focus what they need to be focusing on that's actually going to move the needle, right? So it's important to have this stuff versus just here's a markup, what do you think, right? It's better for me to get a good understanding of your thought process, how you plan to enter, how do you plan on managing if applies, where you're targeting, right? So I have a better idea of your thought process, right? So so they just dropped it right here. So Luke and Andy both just dropped it. So if you want to take a snapshot of this, or I can put it somewhere so it's easily accessible, but this is kind of like what I'm talking about. So add this stuff to your chart markup section. So when we do the back testing, I'll back test 30 minutes worth of chart markups that you send in the group chat if it includes, the confirmations in a little bit more detail. And then the other 30 minutes will be back testing some members, Trade Journal, and Market Biofeedback. So how's that all sound? And I think that would just be more beneficial for everybody as a whole versus just like me kind of thinking of new trainings and just kind of regurgitating a lot of the same information that's already recorded. So maybe we can do we'll keep the same times. Maybe we can do Tuesdays and Thursdays. What do you guys think about Tuesdays and Thursdays? Tuesday would be like the markups with the 3 to 5 pairs, and we can figure out those pairs now. Tuesday, and we'll keep the same time, Tuesday at 12, and then Thursday will be the back testing at 12 as well. Everybody happy with those days? And we'll record them obviously too, but yeah, so Tuesday we'll do the chart markups, and then we can figure out the pairs now. That way everybody knows the pairs that I'll be looking at. That way, depending on where you're at, like you can either duplicate it as I'm doing it or afterwards, or you can come to it knowing like, okay, he's gonna mark up X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna mark up X, Y, and Z before we get on, and see how it sizes up. Yeah, it would be instead of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because yeah, 5 is too much. And I think doing this stuff will just better serve everyone. So let's figure out the pairs. Yeah. Let's figure out the pairs real quick. Let's do 5 pairs. I'm not saying I'll get through all those 5 pairs, but that way you know which ones I'm doing. And if I get through 2, or if I get through 3 or 4, whatever it is, we'll just have 5. Because sometimes there might not be much going on a pair, so I might breeze through a pair pretty quickly. But let's come up with 5 pairs now. That way, and we'll all know the pairs, and we can. All right, so let me just let's see. I kind of have a feeling I'm gonna know what some of these are. So EU in gold, EU's got 1, 2, 3. We got a UCAD, we got a GU, we got a UJ, we got another gold, we got an EG. And what I'm going to do, I'm just labeling all these, whatever 5 have the most. Another GN, another EU, there's a CJ, there's a UChef. There's another EG, EA, another EU, another GU, another GJ, another UChef, another GJ, another EU, another gold, there's a NAS, there's another EU, another UCAD, another EG. So right now, EU and gold are clearly blowing those out of the water. So we'll do EU and gold, and we'll do the other 3. We have UCAD has 2, GU has 2, EG has 3, GN and CJ has 3, UChef, another UChef, another GU, another CJ, another GU. Try to mix them up. You don't want me doing 3 GBP pairs because they'll all be pretty similar. Kind of, it'll better serve you to have pairs that aren't so much correlated, like a EU, gold. There's quite a few for CJ. There's EG's getting a lot. GJ. Another UCAD. We got 1 for Bitcoin. Okay. So we got, some of these are evenly matched here. So CJ or GJ? CJ or GJ? CJ is a clear winner. So gold, EU, CJ, EG or GU? GU. So we had GU4, EG4, GJ4, CJ4. That's why I'm asking, but it seems like those 2 are evenly matched. Okay. Huh? Yeah, CJ's on there. So we got an EU, CJ, and gold. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Let's do this. I got it. This will make it so it's so much more organized. Give me 1 sec. Am I sharing my screen? All right, good. Give me 1 sec. Let me just do this one thing. I got the solution for this. What's that? Oh. Okay. Edit. Hey, come here real quick. How do I change this poll? We're just picking these pairs for this markup. This was a previous one. How do I change this? It pulls up this.
Create.
Oh, wait, just delete?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then create a new one.
How do I do that? Create new survey. Okay.
And then you just add it after you finish.
EU, or no, what was it? EG and GU.
Then add option.
Add op, oh, wait.
Do you want each question to be a pair?
Can they answer these more than once? Or no, only once?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. GU or
No
EG?
correlating pairs. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to see, let's see, poll. Add a question. I don't know how to do this, dude. Add. All right, here we go. GU or EG. GU, EG. Save. Okay. Allow panelists to vote. I want to do that, right? Or that doesn't matter. Okay. The poll's live. EU or GU or EG?
That was cool to see it live.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, so right now GU's running away with it. It's 28, 29 GU, 12, 13, 14 for EG. 70% right now is for GU. GU has double pip volume over EG. Yeah, yeah. So GU's running away with it right now. GU's like 70%, 36 for 17. Okay, so we'll add that GU. So we got gold, EU, CJ, and GU, and we need one more pair. So let's just do this another one. Edit.
Anyone trade NZD?
How do I delete this? I want to add a new one. Or let me edit. Or add, right? I want to add a new one. All right, so what are the two, what do you guys want for the other pairs? I think it was, I'll do this last pair, and we'll do, I see a UCAD, UCAD, GN, UChef. All right, let me just add those. UCAD, UChef, GN. I'll throw that in there.
Very good.
US 30. How can I do this where I can measure all of the pairs, like, and have multiple choice? Oh, I should just do that, right? And let everybody vote on all 5 of these. All right. We got it. So let's just do this. I'm going to write down all the pairs you guys listed. And this is going to be so much easier. GU. US gold. CJ. EU. UJ.
I think that's all you can do. Oh,
Yeah, I think that was all of them.
yeah, that's good.
That's all the pairs. GN. All right. Well, I won't put gold in there because I know that's going to be one no matter what. So I'll put that. I'll put G. Oh, I did GN there. I like these. Save. Oh wait. Edit. Multiple choice. Save. Okay. Edit. How do I get rid of that one? We're going to do this a little bit differently, then we'll call this. Yeah, I'm gonna list all of the pairs you guys listed, and just you can do multiple choice. Pick the 5, and whatever 5 have the most percentage, those are the 5 we're gonna go with. Instead of me trying to do this like, what?
Do the drop down.
Oh, there we go. Okay, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see. These are the main pairs that you guys listed that were getting the most votes. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 11 or 12 on there. So whatever top 5 get the best percentage, those are the ones we're going to do every week. Polling is in progress now. So I'll share the results with you guys at the end. Go.
I forgot to have calls from 1 to 2:30.
You do? No, it's cool. I'll probably just bounce anyway after this.
Still wanna get work done. I can come out to you. We can figure it out.
All right, we'll let this go for like, there we go.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? I wish I could share this like in progress. Can I? Oh, I can't. We can change it maybe monthly, but like right now, it's just easier to just keep the same 5 for a little bit. So right now it is UCAD, EU, GU, basically the same pairs. Well, there's a couple that are close. There's a couple that are close. Everybody's saying hi, Joe.
What's up?
All right, we'll let this go for a few. Attendees are now viewing questions. So we have 77% of people who voted. We have a couple people who have not voted. 55 of the 68, 56 of the 68. So that's pretty good. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we would have the winners. So, okay, we got 58 of the 68 people on here have voted. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna end it, and I'm gonna share it. You take a snapshot of this?
Can you screen capture?
I don't know how. Just take a snapshot. Take it with your phone real quick before I share it. I just don't want to lose these results before I share it with them.
Dude, I broke my camera.
Let me do it.
I did. I can't take a picture of it.
Hold on. Let me just take a picture and I'll share the results with everybody. Okay. Share results. Can you guys see this? Cool. All right. So the 2 biggest ones right now are GU is the biggest. GU is the biggest. So we got GU. The next one was gold. The next 2 were EU and UCAD. EU and UCAD. And those were at 61. Loving this live today. Yeah. And we can change these monthly, or we'll figure it out. Maybe like every quarter. Every quarter we'll change it. What do you think about that? Every quarter we'll change it. That way we can mix it up a little bit. So we got, all right, let's see. That way we can constantly be mixing things up. So every quarter we'll change it. I think that. We'll do like we'll do a poll like this every quarter. All right, so let's get back to this. So we got GU was the clear winner. Gold was second. Then we had a tie for EU and UCAD at 61. And then the next one looks like CJ, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? CJ number 5. Yep, 51. And then let's see, US 30 or EG was last in 6th place, which was close. So right now the pairs GU, EU, UCAD, CJ, and gold. Everybody cool? Those are the 5 pairs that we'll be doing. That way you know for the next session, those are the ones we'll be marking up. So I think we agreed on, what days did we agree on? I've been taking crazy notes on this session. Tuesdays, Thursdays at 12. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12. Tuesday will be this, the pairs, the marking these 5 up, in explaining my thought process and why I'm marking these up. And then Thursday will be the back testing, which we'll split in half. The first half of it will be me marking up a members. I'll ask before the session in the group chat, and whoever emails it first or whatever, we'll figure out a way to do that as well. And we'll change that every session. The first 30 minutes will be me back testing that member's trade journal and market biofeedback and all that good stuff. And then the second half will be back testing the markups that are sent in the chat following the format that was sent here. So if you want to snapshot this, that way you, and I'll show you the example that somebody did. So you can kind of get an idea how they answered those questions, right? So they kind of, what I would recommend though, just so it's a little bit easier, let me scroll to the bottom right there. That way you can take a snapshot of this stuff, right? Take a snapshot of that. And then just do it like this, right? You can do a snapshot or a split screen if you want, one higher time frame or of the same pair, right? So I can see, you know, instead of sending me 2 different snapshots from multiple time frames, you can just kind of split screen if you want. And then, you know, you just go through it and list it. So one might just be, you know, all the confirmations, you know, the break of structure, the bank, whatever it is. However you guys want to do it, just have it all on the chart. Throw a text on there and just fill out all that stuff. That way I can kind of see what your thought process is for that pair. This Tuesday, I'm trying to share my screen. One sec. I got to get this stupid thing off here. One second. I'm going to download that just so I have it. Okay, I download that. So I got the results. Share screen. There we go. I'm on my one screen, so it's kind of, right? So here, take a snapshot of this. This is what I sent. That's for the markups. This is what you should put on it. Right, so you can kind of see if you scroll up the person that I responded to, right, you can kind of see how they did it, but they sent in the Discord. So like all of this, just kind of put it on the chart, right? So you can split screen it like this for the different time frames, and then just open up a text and write your confirmations or whatever. All the things that I just listed, just have a snapshot and kind of, you know, put it out of the way on the chart so I can kind of easily understand what's going on. What do we got going on tomorrow? So we're going to change the sessions to Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12. And they're asking if it's tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah, why not?
I just didn't know what time we were linking up tomorrow.
We can link up and then we can meet after. But I need to confiscate the Zoom when you're ready.
Stop share. This sounds great. Will help tons, especially us newbies. So does that all sound good? You guys like the direction of this? I think it'll just benefit everybody. Can you share the questions again?
They're in Discord.
Yeah, they're in the Discord. Go to the Discord. They're in the group chat. Luke and Andrew dropped it in the Discord. They're like the most recent things in the group chat. This will be a game changer. Sounds like a laser focused plan. This will be very beneficial. Excellent idea. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. And then we can just evolve as we go. Like, you know, once we dive in. No, so it's not going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's going to be Tuesday and Thursday to replace it. But these are going to be more focused on the stuff that we discussed today. The stuff that's going to move the needle for you. This will be more beneficial than me getting on here 3 times a week talking about the same information that's recorded 50 times. I promise you that. So, okay, cool. So these along
That's a
with,
good point. You could do it just Thursday and this could be the Tuesday.
yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about
That's probably a good idea.
because
We
of,
can plan it out better.
because of
Yeah.
what we got going
That's a
on.
good idea. Thursday's the next call.
Yeah, we'll still do like the live NFP trading, but I got to think how I can word that because I don't know if you guys saw what's happening with IML Academy right now. They are getting like hammered because of their live trading, and they were just forced to take down a ton of recordings. They can't do anything live trading. I guess like what is it? The FTC?
Yeah, SEC.
SEC, one of them. They're like on them. There's a lot of shady stuff going on. I don't know if you guys have been following. I wouldn't be surprised if they got shut down permanently in the next 6 months. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff. I was.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're staying above board.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure we're like compliant because if they're getting hammered, it's obviously not something that SEC is cool with. But maybe we'll just reword it. NFP hangout session. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to find the guy's Instagram. I shared it with them. This guy has been kind of exposing a lot of shady stuff that that was crazy about their address, right? So the address they use, like on their company stuff, was what was it, a FedEx location?
Yeah.
It was like a FedEx location too. Pretty yeah, so IM is deleting their entire catalog of pre-recorded trading sessions in order to adhere to compliance. All recorded sessions will be deleted. Only the past 12 sessions will remain. Yeah, so they're not allowed to call buys and sells. They're not allowed to give specific price points. They're not allowed to give stop loss and TP. They're not allowed to count wins or losses. I guess this is for anybody in the Forex space. Like they're cracking down. They're not allowed to talk about percentages, which is crazy. No broker links, no promoting telegrams allowed, no websites. Like, yeah, I'm just pretty shocked. I think the guy's name's always Marco on Instagram. If you want to look at his story, like he's the one that's kind of keeping up with yeah, and that's the address that they use. It's an actual UPS store, which is pretty wild. That's the website address. It links up with that. It's pretty wild.
Whoopsie.
Yeah. And they got all their main dudes just saying, look at all this cash and none of it's from trading. So I'm surprised they've lasted this long, to be honest. Cool. But I think we got a lot of good stuff covered today. I think we have clear direction for the upcoming sessions. We have like a lot of stuff that we're going over and we're getting prepared for the Q&A on Wednesday, the EFXU webinar on Wednesday. So I like that idea that you guys suggested. So let's start the first one with this new format with the back testing on Thursday. And then after that, every Tuesday and Wednesday, or every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m., the Tuesday will be the markup stuff. And then the Thursday will be the back testing, half of it split. So, and we'll just figure out a process of picking the members who want to share and have me do it on a live. And then for the session or for the charts for the other half, you just drop it in the chat. I don't even know who that is, Colin. So going forward, just to confirm, 2 sessions per week. Yeah. Right now, based on everything we discussed today on these 2 topics, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that will help me out too, ultimately, just because, I mean, I have hours probably. How many hours of like for the recording? Yeah, I probably have 100 hours of recording to do over the next like 3 to 4 months for some stuff like content and stuff that like we're working on. So it'll help me out by freeing up a day too. So, and I think this is just going to better serve everyone. So does anybody else have any questions? I didn't even realize we're over at 1. If anybody have any questions, oh, there's a few here. Would you still be marking up gold US 30? Well, you guys will pick the pairs, and every quarter, what we'll do is when we're on that session for the markup section, every quarter we'll do a new poll, and you can pick the pairs that we do every quarter. So this quarter, it's GU, gold, EU, UCAD, and CJ. And that's kind of that will kind of be like the outlook. I think this is going to be good. I think this will be really good. I just think this will especially the Thursday stuff, the back testing stuff. And then, you know, if they work, if everybody likes it, whatever, we continue with it. And then we have those other ideas too that you guys suggested that I wrote down as well. And if we need to evolve or make changes, we will. I'm going to keep all these notes I took today. I don't need this one. Sorry, I'll keep these. Let's say only 2 can stay for the next quarter, 3 need to change. I mean, we'll figure out all the like the small details like as we go. But I'm sure like most people are gonna like some of them will stick. Like I'm sure gold and like, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna leave it up to you guys. I mean, if it ends up being the same 5, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we'll figure it out as we go. But I think we got the meat and potatoes sorted out today. And I think it's a good plan moving forward. And I think it's going to benefit everybody and really accelerate the process. So if there's no other questions, we can just wrap it up there. And we'll plan on Thursday, 12 p.m. And then we'll do our first back test session then. And does anybody, let's do it now. Who wants me to, does anybody have stuff organized and want me to do their data on Thursday? And I think this will hold you. No, I was trying to think of something we can do. To hold people accountable. Huh? Well, I'm going to do a different person every week, but it, you know, I guess like I was trying to think of how we can do something to like hold people accountable.
For what?
Like if I like randomly select somebody, like knowing like I could pick you, and if you don't have your shit, then you know,
10 push-ups.
huh?
10 push-ups.
Then consequences.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool doing it like that. Like I randomly select somebody, but
That'd be really cool.
just to hold people accountable, you know, like, because I'm sure there's people that aren't doing everything that they need to be doing, and I would like to figure out ways that we can make that happen. See, it worries me that nobody wants to step up right now and have me backtest their stuff, and we got 60 people still on. Well, I just did his too. How much data? Like, it would probably be just like a month. Like, we don't need trades this month, but you guys should have, guys should have 6.5 months worth of data right now. So like, even if it's like last month's data, like I have a full month data available, but in the last 2, I haven't been trading too much as I moved. I mean, it's all good. I know Andy's got a lot of data. I mean, maybe it might have to be Andy. I can give you that if nobody available. All right. Well, let's bring this conversation to the Discord. I don't want to keep everybody. I don't want to hold everybody hostage here, but I'll ask. Well, let's talk about it in the Discord, and then we'll figure it out. But it doesn't have to be like this month. I mean, we're not even through this month, but it maybe like the previous month, or I mean, last month. And if you didn't have a lot of data that month, use it next month, whatever. I mean, like, I'm going to tell you this right now. Take advantage of this. Like, if I was in a position where I had a multi 7-figure trader who not only trades that, but actually came from absolutely nothing and did this from nothing in 3 years, I would want them looking at my data. Like, get uncomfortable. Have me look at your stuff, because that's like, I mean, I used to charge people thousands of dollars to look at their data and backtest their stuff. Like, and I'm offering it. Like, raise your hand and I'll look at your stuff. And it's going to help you. I promise you, it's going to help you. Like, if you want to move the needle, get uncomfortable and raise your hand. Like, I mean, I think this stuff is just really going to be beneficial for you, but you have to do the work, you know? You have to do the work. Like I said earlier in the Discord today, like, you have to get obsessed with data collection in these early stages, not with the result. Getting obsessed with collecting data and backtesting your data, like, that's what's going to get you obsessed with results, because then you're going to start making drug dealer money and you're going to be like, is this even legal? I literally just finished the trading model this morning, so I'm going to go start. Yeah, and we'll continue this. So, like, if you're like on the newer side, you don't have, like, you know, some data, like, you just start it, and then that moment when you have enough, right, then you can raise your hand. I'm writing it down in a notebook until I can figure out a few things. I mean, and if anybody's not familiar with, like, Google Docs, like, we use it for everything. Like, we built our company EFX on Google Docs, right? Is that fair to say? Like, it's really powerful, and you can share it with people, and you can do a lot of really cool stuff. If you're not sure how to use it, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. I use it. Brooks uses it. Luke uses it. We use it to build the company, to keep track of things, and it's awesome. But we'll bring this conversation in the Discord and figure it out. And then if you want to share, let me know in the Discord. Tag me, and then we'll pick somebody for this Tuesday or this Thursday, and then we'll just repeat that process. But other than that, I think this was a good call, and we'll just wrap it up and end it there. And I'll see everybody on Thursday at 12 p.m.